that will be your bed. Okay. So once you're ready to go, just sit down. A very good, fabulous morning to you in the city of Lagos. Thank God it's Friday. Yay! You're welcome to the K.Taophyc Show on Yabatech Radio 89.3 FM. It is your only car show, with some tasteful and educative extravaganza. Yeah, right. That show with that very scintillating, thought in your mind. I'll be like, oh, I want to listen to some other time. Yeah, we'll majorly talk about on the K.Taophyc Show car experiences, car repairs, and much more. Yeah, my name is Adisa, the Enigma, the guy that drops joy at the back pocket of your heart. Thank you very much for listening. If you're listening from wherever you're listening, if you're listening from the website, it's going to be a very good time for everybody who is a car owner, an intending car owner. And of course, if you're listening in, please make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, if possible, at Yabatech Radio. Yes, and I have a guest in the house here. I'm not going to be alone. I will have a guest who will be talking to us, who's an engineer and knows his onions very well. But before I introduce my guest, we have to go on a short music break, and then we would be back. But before we go on the break, we will be talking 5 things to check out before buying any car. Maybe I'm going to give you banjo. All right, then. We'll be back in no time.
I was always hoping that I would drive a Ferrari or Mustang and get all the girls. And then, when I got a little bit older, I decided to face reality. I started thinking of the Jeep, a 4-wheel, a 4matic. And then when reality really hit me, I went for the Toyota or Honda. But I still love my cars. And the best way to listen to love for my car
is on the K.Taophyc Show with Adisa, the Enigma, on Yabatech Radio 89.3 FM, Fridays, 11 a.m.
Let's love our cars.
Welcome back to your favorite show, the K.Taophyc Show. The only car show, like I said earlier, with some tasteful and educative extravaganza. If you're listening in for the very first time, the K.Taophyc Show is the show where we talk about car experiences, car repairs. This is the only show where you can get this on radio. That time when you're driving on Falomore Road and your car just breaks down, you have a meeting by 12 o'clock, and by 11:57 this guy will just start overheating. So this is the place where you just reel out your experiences, and trust me, it's going to be a whole lot of time of joy, happiness that we could share on radio. So like I said before I left earlier, I said we would be discussing with our guest, who is an auto electrician, a repair consultant, an alumni of this school. Amazing. Engineer K.Taophyc is his name. Very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm very good.
How have you been? It's been a long time, long time. I think you'll be flying all around town. The only place you've not flied to is like UK, I think.
I will.
Yeah. So how are you doing?
I'm cool.
Yeah. So you want to let the audience know about you, maybe give them a little bit of background on who you are, what you've done before, and why we are having you here.
Okay, K.Taophyc, in full, Karim Taophyc.
I only know K.Taophyc.
Yes, I did my training, technical school in Bagada, Nigeria Opportunity and Industrialization Center.
Wow.
Finished in 2008
Mhm.
and started my ND program,
Okay.
here in Yabatech, Electrical Electronics Department.
Okay.
Yes, so and I finished my HND in 2015.
2000.
So between that period, I've been at the workshop, repairing vehicles and of course flying around to repair cars too. Of course, I'm passionate about, educating people about vehicles. Helping them to get their vehicle issues resolved and like that.
Thank God you didn't choose another career, because trust me, we are tired of Mojidi Kilo on Simba, Mojidi Emilio, but we thank God. At least you have somebody that one can relate to. So today we said we'll be talking about 5 things to check out before buying any car. So people just look at it like, oh, I saw that Lexus and I have this 3.5 million, 3.2, 2.8, 4 million, and oh my God. That's to say that I think last week, we'll talk about this later, car maintenance and all, but I saw that a car, like a brand, I'm not going to mention the name, the light alone is worth 800,000. Light for the car. I'm like, wow.
That's not news.
it's so news, but it's amazing. So people just see, like, because you have the money, you want to buy it at that point in time. So
and maybe in traffic, one Marua or Kada will just come and hit and want to run away.
You would not look at the guy like, where would you start paying his pension from?
Well.
So let's go back to the topic. 5 things to check out before buying a car, so that our listeners will be able to get something and learn something.
Well, let me just list out the points. One, don't decide based on first impression.
Not decide.
Yes. Then 2, it's better to start the engine cold.
Always start the engine cold. Are you going to expatiate?
I'll expatiate. The third one is check for honesty. Just underline that one, double underline. Right. The fourth is compare cost with repair implications. And the last one is check maintenance record and always be prepared for a comprehensive service after purchase.
Okay, so let's take it one and then another. So
yes, don't decide based on first impression. It's the age of I saw this car on Facebook, I saw it on this website, that website,
Yeah.
sent it to me on WhatsApp and so on.
And it's
You are
cheap.
just glued to it.
To that.
And we have these badass phones nowadays.
Maybe that's a case of love at first sight.
It's love at first sight, actually. So, but if you are fortunate, when you get to the car, you just start to wonder, this thing is not as flashy as what I saw on phone, So don't decide based on that first impression. And even when you get to where the car is, you need to pay attention to some more important things aside the paint, the finishing. Of course, a good body is key.
Absolutely.
But there are more important things. You say, this one is first body, and all of a sudden you don't even want to care about any other thing.
First body,
So just, and the reverse also. Don't say because when you open the bonnet, everything is just dirty, the inside is dirty and everything. Of course, some maybe later would want to advise, those want to sell cars on how you prepare a car for sale.
Yeah,
you understand?
Exactly.
So, yes, the preparation might not be good, but the car itself is good. So don't just say because the car doesn't look so good, then you just go off it. So there are more important things to check
out.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the first one. Then the second point, is start the engine cold. Yeah. What's that about?
I am more particular about engine. So much I want to make it a single point. Guys wants to sell his car. The guy wants to sell his car. He knows the engine is not good, right? So there are some issues. There's a particular issue with some engines where once you start it in the morning, you start to hear the clanking sound.
Okay.
You know, maybe the top cylinder is worn, or there's just something wrong. So when they want to package it for you, they put oil treatment, and they will start it ahead before you're coming.
Wow.
Once they do that, when you get there and start the vehicle, you don't get to hear that sound.
So what do you do so that you don't fall down, you don't fall
Good.
victim?
Okay, you can do one of two
Because
things.
you can't tell them not to start the car.
No,
Start the
of
engine,
course.
yes. Okay.
You can do one of two things. Get there early.
Early will be what time?
Well, early means just get
Like
there
an Onibese,
without
like an Onibese,
making
hello,
them
come on, I'll go mefa.
expectant.
Yeah.
But even if you got there and, I mean, you can't always say don't start the car before I get
Of
there.
course.
Perhaps they even brought the vehicle for you.
For you, you know.
So just let the car cool off. Discuss other things, discuss paperwork, discuss news, discuss what's going on around.
Okay.
Then come back to start the car.
And discuss other, maybe if there are other vehicles that they are even selling, you can even
You
just
get?
walk around.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
So then come back to start the car. So no matter how, I mean, bad it is, you still get to
hear the
hear
sound.
the
of
sound.
engine.
And of course, when you have your mechanic with you, you'd be more attentive, right, to some of these sounds.
Wow.
You know, engine sounds, clink, clink, clank, clank, you know, they are different things. Yeah. So you just need to pay attention because
Engineer, this
when
is
you are
sounding
buying
like music
parts,
to my ears. though.
when you are buying parts, about the most expensive thing you buy in a vehicle is the engine.
Wow, that's true.
You understand?
Because if the engine knocks, what you go to do now? Like they always
So I mean, you get engine of some of these small vehicles that you even pay attention to for 500, 600. You know, you're talking about headlights the other time
Headlights.
for 800.
800K.
How much do you think the engine
the
would
engine will
would rot?
be.
You understand? So paying attention to the engine is very important. In fact, much more important than a lot of other
So
things.
it's not about how flashy, and it's not about the first body, because this
No.
first body you said, I used to like, I always say first body in my head.
Yes.
And everybody be like, oh my god, the first body of this car. Usually, like Yoruba people would say, sorry, pardon me, I should first body. Yeah, no.
When a body is not when a vehicle is not first body, you know, they've done some body
work,
work
some-
repairs. Some vehicles do come in with rust, you know, especially vehicles coming in from Canada. People don't take note of this.
Yeah, I think
Vehicles coming in from Canada, they usually come in with rust.
So a friend told me that maybe salt and all of that. Is that the
Salt, snow.
reason?
Okay,
Why not cars from the US?
it depends on where it's coming from.
In the
in
state,
the, in the
state,
states.
okay.
You understand? Yes. So, but generally, just be prepared. When you have a rust issue, this can still be, I mean, managed.
But the engine go exactly.
The engine
is the-
itself
Hmm.
is key.
Yeah, yeah. So let's take the third one, then we'll go for a break and then we'll come back because this is getting much
Check
more interesting.
for
Check
honesty.
honesty. Honesty on whose side? Exactly.
Of course, the person that wants to sell you the deal, right? And you need to compare what he's saying with reality.
How do you?
Let me start with the odometer. The odometer is that thing you see
on the dashboard.
on the dashboard that reads maybe 1,000, 150,371.
Yeah.
So the first thing about the odometer is you need to know what's the gradation of the speedometer. Speedometers are graded in miles per hour
Okay.
or kilometer
Per hour.
per hour. So 1.61 is the difference between the two, between the miles and kilometer per hour.
1.61.
So if you have 50 miles, so that will be 80 point something kilometers.
Yeah.
Yes. So this person wants to sell you a 2010
Car.
Camry, for instance, and the speedometer is reading 70 kilometer per hour. You should be suspicious. The reason is the average annual reading for the odometer in kilometers per hour is roughly some 17,000 to 20,000.
Does that mean that they've tampered up?
Of course, it has been clocked. That's the regular term for it.
Oh.
So, but we'll say it has been reversed.
In Nigeria.
You understand?
Yeah,
so,
right.
at times it might be reversed before it was shipped in. So, what you can do for this is just do a rough calculation. I mean,
yourself.
2010 to 2021.
Okay.
So you are multiplying 170. I mean, you are multiplying 17,000 by 10. That will give you a rough idea. So you should be seeing 170.
So they should not be selling Dasum for you in a Lexus body.
You get. So, and this reading tells a lot about the vehicle, about the wear and tear, about what parts should have been changed. You understand? So, but when you are saying 70,000, I mean 90,000, so, and you just this car is still there. It hasn't been used for long until look, but whereas it's maybe on 200 to something.
So in that case now, if you want to be like the Nigerian in me, how are you going to be polite to tell them that I'll get back to you?
Well, let that depend.
Depend on you yourself. All right then. Thank you guys for listening. This is still the Car Love Show, the show where we talk about car repairs, car experiences, and it's your only car show with some tasteful and educative extravaganza. And we're still talking with engineer K.Taophyc, who is the senior engineer at Autotronics. Yeah, and we're talking 5 things to check out before buying your car, any car you want to buy. We'll go now on a music break, but before we go on the music break, you can reach out to us and contribute to the show on 0701 800 1783, 0701 800 1783. You can also reach out to 091 31 38 4110. Yeah, let's go for the music break. We'll be back.
Mustang to get all the girls. And then, when I got a little bit older, I decided to face reality. I started thinking of the Jeep, a 4-wheel, a 4matic. And then when reality really hit me, I went for the Toyota or Honda. But I still love my cars. And the best way to listen to love for my car
is on the Car Love Show with Adisa, the Enigma, on Yabatech Radio 89.3 FM, Fridays, 11 a.m.
Let's love our cars.
It's like witches and black acid.
Well, what kind of traffic is this? Is it every time we have traffic in Lagos?
Oh, why they like add grammar join for this stress we don't do for grammar already? Traffic no get here for grammar, but you get one language where they cure in madness. Tune in your radio to Yabatech 89.3 FM. For top Yabatech 89.3 FM, the vibe no be here.
Alright then, welcome back to your favorite show, the Car Love Show on Yabatech 89.3 FM. And still with me in the studio is engineer K.Taophyc, and we're discussing 5 things to check out before buying any car. Yeah, so we spoke about never decide based on first impression. We spoke about start the engine cold, no matter how it is, just make sure the car is you start the car cold, then check for honesty. That was what we said. So we called out the numbers that people could reach us on, but you could reach us on 070 1800 1783, 070 1800 1783. So yeah, engineer K.Taophyc, yeah, the next one is the next point we should take.
Yes, just shortly before we continue, of course you can always check online. Find out about the vehicle online, especially if it's a combo vehicle, right? So, but if it is a used vehicle, you just need to make enough findings, research, you know, from the owner. Yes, the fourth point is you need to compare costs.
So when you say compare cost?
Compare the cost of the vehicle, and you need to add up the repair implications. This is about the price you are buying the vehicle.
Vehicle.
Now, you are buying the vehicle for, 2.5, right? So, and by estimate, you found out that the things you need to repair, the engine is making some sound, the leg is making some sound. Based on the scan report, you need to change ABS, you need to change this right side airbag, left side airbag, driver side airbag.
Only you want.
So, and you found out that these repairs is going to cost you, let's say 150, right?
Wow.
You are buying for 2.5, so that's roughly 2.65. You are buying the vehicle for million.
In actual fact,
you understand?
yeah.
So it's important people take note of this. Else, you buy a vehicle, you just start to manage. You didn't take note of this financial side of it before dropping the money, because you are just wild and other things. So, and this also helps you to negotiate better. You understand? So that, guy, see, I'm going to repair this and this and this and this. So, let's cut. You have to cut something for me.
Yeah, because it even sounds like you know what you're doing as the buyer already.
Exactly. So your mechanic, when he's there with you, ensure he helps you to identify those key things. It's one of two ways. It's either you are buying, right, and you are ready to do the repairs, if there is any at all. Okay. You get a lot of buy and drive. You know. I checked a vehicle for sometimes last week, and the guy was like, it's only brain box launch. And when we got there, just checking the oil level, I found that it's milk colored. You know what that means, Adisa? When your oil is milk colored, you know what that means?
You tell me.
Engine oil has mixed with the coolants. Wow. Automatically, overheating has happened, and the gasket is flat. Worst case scenario or medium case scenario, you change the top cylinder. Worst case scenario, you buy a new engine.
Whoa.
Where are we coming from? Brain box. Where are we now?
Yes,
engine. So if you did not do your findings well,
is this a Nigerian used car?
Of course, it's a Nigerian used car. Okay. It's a Nigerian used car. You can still get it for a foreign used car too. You understand? So if you didn't take note of this, and you just based your mind on it's buy and drive, or it's only brain box, just fill up the gas.
That one.
Just fill up the gas.
Fill up the gas.
You understand? And by the time you get to your AC expert, he says, we'll change condenser, and we'll change evaporator, and we'll change condenser usually spoil compressor, so we'll change that one.
Change that one too.
Yeah. So tell me, tell me what do we have here? So it's important. You always take into cognizance.
Let me quickly read out the numbers again for those that are listening in. You could join us on the show 070-1800-1783. Number again 070-1800-1783. Yeah. So you were saying.
Yes. So it's important to take note of those things that needs to be repaired. Is it something that is worth your while?
Wow.
You know, there are times you always inherit vehicle problems that we have done it to our own bus stop. You carry on. So are you ready to carry that load? If you are a first time buyer, it's safe to avoid these things. Just look for a vehicle that would not give you headache. Buy it and be using. A first time buyer. But if you are used to, buying vehicles, using vehicles, you are used to the workshop, fine. You can do your experiments. I can still try this one. Adisa, my
We'll
mechanic,
be able to fix it.
you get.
We'll be able to
Yeah.
fix it. Yeah.
So the last point is you need to check the maintenance record and also be prepared for comprehensive service.
Before we go into the details of that, I think we should just go for a quick break and then we'll be back. We'll be back. Do we get any signals?
Yeah, you get signal. You're supposed to blink. I'll see the signal.
Okay.
It's for your own protection, no exceptions,
the first
no
time.
objections, no extension, no suppression, no affection. If you only wash your hands and you're done.
As you feel you can always digress, discuss other things in the combat. So with time, you see that if you are not careful, our points in mind might need to switch it to the next episode because calls will be breaking in between. You understand? So that's meant to be the distraction. So in the time being, you would just think of okay, what was this, what was this, what was this.
Yeah. But you can play the show jingle. The show.
Okay.
Where did they go? Where did they find? Why they ask me like that? Where did they go? Where did they go? Where did they go? You don't hit my car. I said you don't bash my car. Tell me you don't hit my car. I said you don't bash my car.
When I guess what?
Me, I'm looking for this party. This party homie plenty money. They tell me say in the ego say I get given for one party. Shady party yeah, open for me. Today not today, no time for story. He wants to pay me all the money. I can't reach the house, I can't see say people gather, they just say cry. I try to know where because they cry. Then tell me say my party don't buy. As I come they go back to my house, I come miss more old of a row. The nothing where I hear from my back. Now one scrap from another car. Hey, you don't hit my car. I said you don't bash my car. Hey, tell me you don't hit my car. I said you don't bash my car. So me say trouble, another day say dead body no dey pay person money. Another party don dey bash my car. Today na today, no time for story. Idris na you see wahala.
Hey yo, what's up, Tony? What's up, man? It's been a long time we don't see. What's up, man?
Boy, stop that, I know waiting me what's up. You bash my car, you tell me what's up. Say na what's up, I go use pay my car. I better pay me my body now. Which one is it? Police come, they measure the line. They say make I no worry, everything go be fine. They come bring paper, say make I sign. I sign my own, is this sign him own. I come the weather who get before. They say na my body get the photo. I park my car, see trouble. Thank God it's the trouble, come wake up. Hey, you don't hit my car. I said you don't bash my car. Hey, tell me you don't hit my car. I said you don't bash my car.
Did you
At
check
Yabatech Radio.
radio?
Yeah, you don't hit my car.